Kiddushin daf mem, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the 8-minute daf. The Gemara tells us that if a person is faced with an avera and he controls himself and doesn't do the avera, this is the greatest mitzvah a person can do, says Rashi. It's the greatest mitzvah. In fact, the Gemara brings 3 stories, one with Rabbi Chanina, the other with Rabbi Tzadok, and Rav Kahana. All 3 of them faced a situation where a woman invited them to do an avera. Rabbi Chanina, he jumped into a bathhouse, even though there was mazikim, and he was saved. Rabbi Tzadok jumped into an oven in order not to be over the avera. And Rav Kahana actually jumped off a roof, where Eliyahu Hanavi came and saved him. And he tells Eliyahu Hanavi, the reason why I got into this to begin with is because I was selling baskets to women, and it's because I'm poor. So Eliyahu Hanavi gave him money. The point is that when a person saves himself from doing an avera, it's a tremendous thing, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu later on does nisim for such a person. The famous Mishnah, the Gemara wonders, why isn't Shiluach HaKen one of the mitzvahs in the Mishnah? Shiluach HaKen, as the Torah says, you get Arichas Yamim, you get Olam Hazeh, you get Olam Haba. And the answer is because the Mishnah is only bringing things that you're good with the Rebbeinu Shalom and with your fellow Jew. You're doing Kibbud Avayim, you're doing Gemilos Chesed, etc. Whereas Shiluach HaKen is between you and the Rebbeinu Shalom. The Gemara tells us that a mitzvah has dividends. Hashem pays more than the actual value of the mitzvah. Whereas in Aveira, Hashem pays exactly as the Aveira is. There's one exception. If a person does an Aveira where other people learn from him, he's an important person, for instance, and other people do the Aveira because he did it, so now that Aveira that he did has dividends. Other people are mimicking him, and therefore he'll receive a punishment for the dividends that he has. It says in the pasuk L'chayshvei Shemai that a mitzvah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mitzaref machshava l'maisa. When a person thinks about doing a mitzvah and then he has some sort of oinus and he can't do it, Hashem will give him the sechar. But in Aveira, typically speaking, if a person thinks about doing an Aveira and he doesn't do the Aveira, he doesn't get an oinish unless it's one of the following exceptions. If he followed through his machshava, he had a machshava, then he did an Aveira, he gets punished for the machshava. Or if he had a machshava of Avodah Zarah, even though he didn't do the Avodah Zarah, as we had yesterday, he gets an oinish. And also, if a person does the same Aveira over and over, to the point where he becomes so used to it, he thinks that it's mutter. It's as if it's mutter. So just thinking about that Aveira, even though he didn't follow through, he receives the oinish. The Gemara tells us it's better for a person to do an Aveira in hiding, where there's no Chil Hashem, rather than do it in public. If a person could control his Yetzer, and he does the Aveira in hiding, then that's a big slap in the face, Kaviyach, the Rebbeinu Shalom, because now he doesn't care of the Rebbeinu Shalom. According to Rabbah, it's referring to the Isser of looking at a rainbow. When it comes to Chil Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't wait and doesn't let the person build up credit, so to speak. HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes care of the Aveira very quickly and swiftly. And not only that, if a person has 50% Aveiros, 50% mitzvahs, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will use that Aveira of Chilul Hashem and tip the scale in the wrong direction. The Gemara gives us a eitzah. A person should view himself or the world as if they're 50-50. So anytime he does a mitzvah, he's tipping the scale in his favor, in the world's favor. And if Chas v'Shalom does an Aveira, he's tipping the scale in the wrong direction. A person who feels bad for the mitzvahs that he's done in the past or the Aveiras that he's done, he erases those mitzvahs and he erases those Aveiras. It's a tremendous insight. A person goes his entire life doing mitzvahs, and the last minute he feels bad for everything that he did. It gets erased. Brand new Mishnah. The Mishnah tells us that a person who has these 3 things, he learns Chumash, he learns Mishnah, and he has Derech Eretz, he won't be choite so quickly. He won't sin that quickly. When a tzaddik has Yisurim, it's as if he's a tree that's in a Makom Tahara, where its branches go to a Makom Tumah. And when you take off the branches from the Makom Tumah, then everything, the entire tree remains in a Makom Tahara. So too with Yisurim. A tzaddik is complete tahara, but he has a little bit of a problem. He has a little bit of tumah. So Hashem chops off that place so that he completely is tahar. And when it comes to Rishonim, it's the opposite. They're completely in tumah, and they have a little bit of tahara, so Hashem gets rid of their tahara in this world. He gives them some sechar, so that when they come to Olam HaEmes, they don't have any. Reb Tarfon held that doing a mitzvah is greater than learning Torah. Nimnu v'gamru. The Rabbanim came together, the Tanoim came together, and they said to halachos like Rebbe Akiva that Torah is greater because Torah brings a person to do mitzvahs, and therefore you have both. You have Talmud Torah and the mitzvah. Limud Torah came 40 years before Chala, 54 years before Trumas HaMaisros, 61 years for Shemitah, and 103 years for Yovel. That's Meshamet in the beginning. And when a person goes up to Shemayim, the first thing they take care of, the first business they take care of is, have you learned Torah? How much Torah and why didn't you learn Torah? And the first sechar they give him is for Torah. Why? Because Torah comes before Maisa. A person that doesn't have these three things, Mikra, Mishnah, Derech Eretz, then he's not Mina Yishuv. He doesn't belong in this world. He's Pasala Eidos, just like a person who eats in the marketplace in public is similar to a dog. Rabbi Isai, have a wonderful day.